Earnings season is here, which means investors should keep their watch lists fresh with top stocks that are setting up in chart patterns heading into their quarterly reports. While it's risky to buy a stock outright ahead of its earnings results, you should be ready to strike if and when a high-quality stock blasts higher after its report. So let's take a look at an example of a stock that did just that very recently, Intuitive Surgical. Now, the robotic surgery stock surged 7% on October 18th in reaction to a big earnings beat and strong guidance. Earnings climbed 21% for the quarter, while sales increased 23%. Both figures marked 2 quarters in a row with accelerating growth, and that's bullish. Now, the move put shares above a 549.10 buy point from a cup with handle base here. And taking a closer look at the stock on a daily chart, we can see this earnings-fueled gain was accompanied by heavy volume. Now, that indicates support from those institutional investors, and it's always important to follow the big money on Wall Street. Now, Intuitive Surgical was also able to close the day near the very top of its trading range, which is a further signal of strength. Now, Intuitive Surgical closed the day still within the proper 5% buy range, but sometimes these earnings gaps can send shares surging even higher. Now, we normally say that buying a stock when it's more than 5% above a proper buy point would be considered chasing a stock, but because these earnings gaps can be so powerful, that's an exception to the rule. IBD's research shows that moves like this are often the precursor to even more gains. Investors can also utilize intraday charts to help them with these trades. Now, it's ideal to see the first 5-minute bar of an intraday chart look strong, and you can also use a climb above the first hour high as your signal to get in. So let's quickly recap. Look for stocks with a track record of strong earnings and sales growth that are already forming proper chart patterns. Rather than buying ahead of the report, it's key to wait and see how the stock reacts to the results. If shares can blast higher, look for heavy volume and a close in the upper half of the trading range for the day. It's always important to be aware of broader market conditions to ensure you're in a good environment for buying stocks, but in general, by focusing on these earnings gaps during earnings season, you're able to minimize your risk and capitalize on the momentum of a big move higher.